What is going on, everybody? Vex30 here, coming in with a new video today. It has been a while, I know, so hard to get out videos, but I am home. We have a couple weeks off, so we are getting out some videos, and I wanted to start with one of everybody's favorites. It is our 2.4 PC support tier list. Again, I have to put that PC there because some console people in my comments was like, oh, this character's way better on console. What are you talking about? It's like, I'm not a console player. I play PC. I don't know what the meta is on console. So that's why we put that PC in front of it, just to make sure people know, you know, this is mainly for PC. It could be to console somewhat. I don't know though, because I'm not a console player, but let's jump into it. So today we are going to be ranking supports based on most, I would say, meta. And this is for a more competitive tier list though. It's not really for your casual player. Most competitive supports right now, we're going to rank these starting today with Furia. Now Furia, we are going to put her in A. And A is typically your most balanced. I think Furia isn't underpowered, but again, I don't think she's overpowered right now. She's not overtuned or undertuned. Her strongest point is the amount of damage she outputs. Her weakest point is her only viable healing legendary. It's very hard to pull off properly. In ranked, it's near impossible unless you're communicating with somebody. In PPL, again, it's still pretty hard. Even though you're communicating with teammates, it's still difficult to pull off. Recently in our set against the Knights, I tried to pull Furia out. We were up a couple games, and I decided to pull her out. It somewhat worked. It did its job, but it wasn't enough, you know. And her win rate right now is like 0% in the PPL, but she's just, maybe next patch 2.5 when Cherish gets a 300 range buff, I think she's going to go up a little bit, but we'll see. But for now, she's balanced. She's not overpowered. She's not really underpowered. She's just there. Next is Grohk. Now, this is a tough one. Him and another support are tough because overall, they're not amazing, but overall, they're not terrible anymore. Grohk is going to be A-. Now, I think it's very hard. I want to put him at B, but I'm just going to put him at A- because of his situational potential. I can't find Grohk for some reason right now because I already did it before. But his situational potential is really good. Now, Totem as a secondary support is kind of insane against Pip now because CCs now hard counter chickens. If somebody CC immune, you can't chicken them. And against CC in general, since the game has a lot of CC, Grohk off support can be really good. And if you know how to min-max and do a decent bit of damage as him and get a lot of ult charge, he can be really good situationally. As a main support though, solo healer, it doesn't work. Against a high level team, it will not work in competitive. Maybe in your ranked games, maybe in casual games, yeah, but in high level competitive, it just does not work. That's why we're going to put him below A. We're going to keep him an A-, but since he has situational potential, we'll keep him above B. Next is Grover. Now, this is an interesting one. We're going to put Grover at S-. Now, typically with champions like this, I don't really rank them, or I rank them lower. And that being, he is banned right now in competitive. Grover Vine Crash is back. It crashes games, and it's been crashing games on LAN, so he had to be banned. But we're going to ignore that fact and rank him based off of he's not unbanned. Or he's not banned, sorry. He's at S-. Grover's a really strong support, and he has tons of utility. He has 3 legendaries that can be competitively viable as a main support. I have made Deep Roots, Ferocity, and Rampant Blooming be viable in scrims, high-level scrims. All 3 of them can be viable. That's one of his strongest suits, his versatility. His healing output's still really good. His ultimate's still unmatched. His ultimate is so good. It's such a good hard initiation ult, or a hard reset ult, or a hard counter ult, that it is one of the best ults in the game because how easy it is to use. Biggest thing you have to learn about it is the timing on it. Grover is very strong right now though, and I can't wait until he gets unbanned again because I love playing him. But since he's banned, I won't go on too much about him. Grover, S-. Jenos. Jenos is, oh god, he is insane. We're gonna put him at S+. Jenos brings so much to the table. Survivability, high healing output, multiple healing targets, a damage amplification, 15% on the target that's being healed, a utility lift that stops people from going anywhere, right? If you catch an Ashe mid shoulder bash, as she's winding it up, you lift her, she can't go anywhere. You catch Andrew mid dashes, his dash is reset, he can't go anywhere. You catch Eevee right as she's blinking back, she has about a half a second where she can't blink, and she can get bursted in one shot. It's happened so many times. You catch Nando after dash. You catch anybody who doesn't have a dash or after their movement ability, they're stuck there. They're stuck in the air and your team is just plowing into them. Not to mention that he's an extremely safe support and he heals through walls and he has a good range with cards. He's insane right now. One thing I want to see for Jenos, truthfully, pretty good idea I had with all supports actually, is you maybe get rid of or add like a 5 to 10% damage amp into his base kit and then make a new legendary that changes his dash. You have a legendary that makes his gun better, that makes his lift better, or make his dash better. I think you get rid of the damage amp and you make a new legendary that's all utility rather than healing legend. He's insane right now. After he got his 300 base heal, when you heal somebody, they get 300 extra, they get 300 health base and then taking overtime over 10 seconds. He's insane. He is bannable, he is first pickable, and he is the best support in the game. Quite easily, no argument. Next is my boy Maldamba. Maldamba, ooh, man, I love him. He, I always say this, but he is the pinnacle of support design, and we're putting him at S. He is very strong right now. He's not OP, but he is strong. His heal is amazing. His utility is amazing. Auto attack potential and his damage potential is pretty decent. It's not bad. He has 2 healing sources and a great team fight ultimate. I personally think that all support should be balanced around Damba. I put him at S and not A, just because it's weird to put him at A and everybody below and above that, because this tier list would be super spread out then. But I think Damba is the pinnacle of design. I think that's the best way to say it, of supports. He has always been strong and he will always be strong. They should really never nerf him, except slightly here and there if he needs it. Right now, he's in a good spot. He is strong. If Jenos is, Damba is in every game basically in the PPL, in competitive. It's just how it is. The only support that gets banned sometimes is Jenos. And that leads me to the next person on this list, Pip. We're gonna go polar opposite now. Pip sucks. Pip has the same issue Grohk does, that he has a couple healing legendaries, but one's competitively viable sometimes, and one is awful. He is with Grohk at A-, and always will be with Grohk, I think, because they're kits. Pip is strong as a damage dealer. He would be way higher, but this is a support tier list, so he's way lower. Mega Potion is the legendary that can be viable in certain situations, and can be used in competitive. It's not like it's good. It can be good in certain situations, like Grohk Totem, but it's not good as a main healer. Like, again, it can be used, but it's not that good compared to the other supports. I wish it was. Pip's so fun to play, but it's just not. Pip's just not there right now. Mega Potion, Combat Magic just isn't very good. Too hard to pull off. The healing's good, but it's just too hard to make work. If you're playing a very stationary comp on a stationary map, no high ground, you have no vertical champions, you have slow champions, yeah, it could be pretty good. But that's way too situational. And Mega Potion, I think the biggest thing that Pip brings to the table is his ultimate. When his ultimate's just extremely strong. It's one of the best ults in the game with the kill potential of it. Even with resilience, you still have, your team has 2 seconds to kill the chicken. That's still more than enough time in competitive to kill something. So Pip is going to be with Grohk A-. Sometimes can be good. Most of the time is bad. Next is Seris. Now, Seris is, she's good. I like her right now, and we're going to put her at A+. She's a little bit above Furia because she's easier to use. Furia has a better ultimate, but Seris is way easier to use. Healing output's crazy good. I typically like Seris over Furia because it doesn't limit my tanks. All I have to do is a 300 range, a 300% extra range, right click across the map, and they're healed. I don't have to say, hey, beam going here, look for beam. I have to like dodge the enemy and be in the line with the beam to get the healing. It just doesn't limit tanks. That's why it's above Furia. The ultimate is a little bit lackluster at times, and it's very hard to use, but her escape's good. Everything else is good on her. And typically, if Damba is picked, Jenos is banned, you're going to pick Seris. But there also is one more champion that's very close to Seris that you sometimes pick when Jenos is banned that we're missing, and that is Ying. Ying actually goes A. Though I say you pick her sometimes instead of Seris. Seris you typically pick when Jenos is banned as your second support. But Ying can also be viable. Her biggest issue is she has counters. Hard counters. Grohk Maelstrom does really well against Ying, especially when they have an Anar too. Because it just free bounces off of clones all the time. That's why people are hesitant to pick her over Seris when it comes to competitive when Jenos is banned, because of the Grohk potential. And that's why she's at A instead of A+ with Seris. I think she is better than Furia, but just slightly. Furia is overall better, but Ying brings the healing output and the simplicity that Fury doesn't have, and simplicity does mean a lot even in competitive. So with that, Ying is A, and that is it for the 2.4 support PC tier list. Let me know what you think down in the comments, and let's run over all of them real quick. Furia A, great ultimate, great auto damage, hard to pull off. Grohk, totem can sometimes be viable, Spirit's Domain sucks. Rover, competitively banned, but still a really good support. Jenos, OP. Damba, pinnacle of design. God love Damba. Hip, again, Mega Potion sometimes competitively viable. Comet Medic sucks. Great ultimate though. Seris, really easy to use. Decent ultimate. Decent escape. Not too bad overall. Ying, very good ultimate. Easy healing, but is more counterable than her counterparts. With that recap, that is all for this support tier list. I hope everybody enjoyed, and I'm glad to be back. Expect more videos this week while I'm here at home. Hope everybody enjoyed the video. I also hope you enjoy your day, night, evening, morning, dawn, dusk, whatever it is where you live, and I will see you in the next one. Later.